All right, hi folks. So it looks like we're maybe a minute early, but here I am. I thought that I would spend a little time. What is that? I thought I'd spend a little time talking to you guys about commenting on our channel. That the comments are great. The overall, most of our storytellers read the comments a lot. That they sometimes reply, sometimes they don't reply, but most of them read them. There's some who don't, some who feel like too big of a risk for something that isn't pleasant to hear. The Missouri Ozarks. I didn't know there was Missouri Ozarks. So anyway, but the comments they mean a lot. The comments and the likes, the thumbs up thing. They help the channel reach more people because of how YouTube works. So we really appreciate that. Once in a while, we do delete a comment, and I wanted to talk about that for a minute. That there's a few specific types of comments that we're pretty likely to delete. It's not much. Uh, Comments about it being Biden's fault, or it being Trump's fault, or it being Obama's fault, or it being because of the border. Those are those are fine. We certainly don't agree with all of them, but they're fine. The kind of comments that we do delete are comments that have to do with uh, things that are hurtful toward the storyteller or the victim. But if it's hurtful toward the storyteller, it doesn't really have any value. There's not anything you can tell the storyteller that they haven't already thought of regarding how much responsibility they have in what happened to the victim. They're probably wrong. It isn't their fault, but they feel like it is anyway, and they don't need anyone to remind them of that. So if it's hurtful toward the storyteller, we're pretty likely to delete it. So also there's comments that involve name calling, and we tend to delete those they're just because they're kind of juvenile and also don't have any value. We also delete comments that are racist. That kind of ought to be expected, I would think, but uh, yeah, we delete those. The other kind of comments we delete are comments that are dangerously inaccurate. Dangerously inaccurate comments get deleted, sometimes not right away. If they got biased and have been public for a little while, we'll make a comment to correct the inaccuracy with the hopes that anyone who saw the inaccurate comment gets straightforward. Holy cow, folks! Let me catch up. Let me just. So at one time we had a commenter who said that he could tell if fentanyl was in whatever material that he bought illegally. He could tell if it had fentanyl in it by how it smelled. How it smelled. And no, you cannot. Another person said if you put a Percocet in Sprite, the soft drink, if it floats, it's legitimate, and if it sinks, it's got fentanyl in it. No, not true. And so those are dangerous things for people to be reading. If someone manages to think that it is accurate and trusts it, that's just dangerous. So we delete those. All right. So let me see if I can catch up with some of these comments. Hello from Pennsylvania. We're going to be going to Pennsylvania. There's some place in Pennsylvania. Yeah, it's down the road. It'll probably be in the fall, but we're supposed to be out there. We're also supposed to go to Detroit, and next week, a day after tomorrow, we leave for Washington D.C. And a couple of weeks after that, we're shooting in Sacramento. So pretty busy. We still have a lot of stuff to edit from Midland, Texas, and from Florida, but we're getting caught up. So, yes, delete hateful comments. I don't blame you for deleting. No, no, no. Hello from LA, as in Louisiana, I'm guessing. Janelle, we're going to be shooting in Louisiana too, I believe. Louisiana is close to us. We're in Houston, Texas, and so Louisiana is not as challenging of a trip as someplace like Washington, D.C. is. All right, thank you for all the stories you've done on the channel about this subject on fentanyl and the onslaught of drug killing so many beautiful souls. Yes, it's terrible. There's something really wonderful about being able to give these people a chance to share something meaningful about the loved one they lost, and to watch how talking about them, talking about what happened, it helps them. And then when the story is published here on YouTube and the comments start rolling in, that helps them too. And the number of views start to climb. It's really it's a really beautiful thing. I work in a supermax prison, and I wish I could show some of my participants. I feel like drugs are the only escape they have in prison, or 100% of nearly every crime committed. Yeah, we have actually uh, the uh, the prison system in Texas has contacted us to use some of our programs. I don't know if they're actually using them or not. We told them that they're welcome to have at it, and haven't heard from them again. So I hope they're using them. We worked on a presentation for HIDA, which is a high intensity drug trafficking area program, the Houston HIDA office, to create a training presentation on video for incarcerated audiences, not just prisons, but jails as well. If someone spends a few weeks in custody, they go through a kind of a detox. And when they get out, if they go back to the dose they were at when they went in, they can overdose. And so that was really the point of the presentation, to drive home the fact that you're at a higher risk of overdose if you've been without for an extended period of time, enough of a period of time to detox. So if there's anything we can do to help you get the programs into the prison you work at, let us know. You can email us at info@texas-pictures.com. And our email address is also in the, the about section on our channel, or a way to contact us. I don't know, but it's there somewhere. The families need nothing short of love and praise. That's right, Janet. And they get a lot of it from the comments and the thumbs up, and And we're still we're still connected to virtually all the storytellers that we've worked with over this last year and a half now, and we're all on a private Facebook group that's made up of people who have shared their stories with us and people who wish to share their stories with us somewhere down the road. They're primarily fentanyl stories, but there's also some recovery stories as well. And there's a couple of counselors. Janelle, Los Angeles, not Louisiana. Okay, well, we're going to be in Sacramento in a few weeks, and we're going to be in Los Angeles in November. My my wife and I are going on a cruise, but we're probably going to shoot stories in Los Angeles while we're there before the cruise. That's the goal as it is right now. So, gosh, actually, we could use a local person to help us coordinate a location to shoot the stories and that kind of thing. Not that I'm hinting or anything. Thank you, Vias Veronica. We're doing our best. What made me start the series? Holy cow. Uh, we started. Oh, okay. So this is cool, right? Right. Right. We have a merchandise store, and this is the one of the mugs. On the other side, it says "Stories That Matter." I think it's cool, but I'm gonna think it's cool. So anyway, how did we start? Victor, we're coming to California. We're going to be in Sacramento in a few weeks, and later this year we'll be in Los Angeles. So how did it start? We are primarily an industrial video production company. We've been in business for over 17 years, uh, and we've done some documentary work for the Houston Police Department and other law enforcement agencies about things like impaired driving and drug abuse relating to uh, spice, K2, uh, synthetic cannabinoids, and distracted driving. So, so we have a lot of experience uh, with topics like that, and we've kind of become known in the Houston area as being the resource to go to for topics that are I don't know, human topics. And so the DEA in Houston asked us to shoot stories at a fentanyl family summit that they held last November. And so we did. And the stories we shot at that event are the first 14 or so stories in the series on our channel. And when we started putting those stories on our YouTube channel, things started really taking off. Up until that point, we hadn't really given a lot of attention to our YouTube channel, other than using it as a way to showcase our work, to find traditional clients who hire us to tell stories. And once it started taking off, we started doing more. And that's pretty much all we're doing now is not just fentanyl stories, but also addiction recovery stories, human trafficking stories. We're developing, how do I say this? We're developing plans to create some kind of series that addresses domestic violence and a couple of other things that aren't really far enough along to talk about yet. But the bulk of the work that we're doing now is related to fentanyl poisoning. So I don't know, Andrew, if I answered that or not, but that's how it started. We kind of stumbled into it, and I just found it to be a really rewarding kind of work to devote our time on, and with the attention that it receives on YouTube, it generates enough revenue to make the series sustainable. That it's all self-funded. We don't have any sponsors. We don't have uh, clients. We don't charge the people who share their stories with us. We don't charge anyone anything. We ask for some help for lodging and airfare when we travel. Usually doesn't happen, but uh, whether it happens or not, we still do the stories, and grateful to get to do it. Thank you, Veronica. Janelle, Los Angeles. Okay, we talked about Los Angeles. Victor, yeah, we're coming to California, San Antonio. Holy cow! Yes, we have a story in San Antonio that we have to get back to. That that it's a story that we missed the last time we were there, and it's a good one. It's different. The storyteller has shared his story on Soft White Underbelly, and and with us, he's going to share the story of losing a loved one to fentanyl poisoning. So we just have to find the time to get back to San Antonio. We're working on it. Melina, thank you. So good to see you here. Since you got one of our T-shirts, I find myself every time I'm at Baybrook Mall, I'm looking around, thinking maybe I'll see Melina or someone in one of our T-shirts. Oh, look, here is a storyteller sponsor, one of our members, uh, F417H. I don't know what to do with that, but welcome. Thank you for being here, uh, member. Okay, Melina, I haven't, I haven't seen any of the shirts yet. We plan to order a few, but just haven't done it. We tend to be kind of busy, but uh, I got a mug. See the mug. Cool, right? All right. Melina, see the mug. See the mug? And on the back of this mug, it says "Stories That Matter." There's also one that has the same fentanyl Python fentanyl awareness Python graphic on the other side. So anyway, enough about that. So glad you like the shirt, Melina. Faith, Faith, is that your name? Faith, the F417H. Don't know what to make of that, but so appreciate the members. We try to put some extra stuff up for members as we can. On this trip to Washington, D.C., we're going to have more extra stuff for members. We have an interview with a uh, uh, we have uh, that's awesome, Melina. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. So yeah, back to members. So with members, we put up some raw interviews, and we have more to put up. We put up some stuff about impaired driving and a little bit about fentanyl. We're working on more about that when we go to Washington. We'll be doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and some of that will be just for members, and some of it will be published publicly for everyone on the channel. Recovering addict Rose. Rose, I OD'd several times, and last time was barely brought back. I've lost so many people to the fentanyl crisis. So, Rose, where are you at? What part of the country are you in? I'm assuming that you're in the U.S. Kansas. Kansas. We were in Kansas. We were in Kansas in January. I wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend that. But it was a great time. It was. Uh, Carla. Is that Carla? Carla? Is that the Carla storyteller? Carla? Maybe. Carla. Hi, Carla. Holy cow! I had something to tell you about. You should introduce yourself, Carla. Okay, back to Kansas. Kansas. Rose. Yeah, we shot in Topeka. We shot stories for 3 days, which was okay because didn't want to be outside. Holy cow, snow was everywhere. It was at one point it was -7. That's crazy. But we'll probably be going back. What part of Kansas are you in, Rose? Kansas City, Topeka, uh, somewhere in the sticks. I don't know. We have uh, the EMS department in Kansas City, Kansas, has invited us to do some ride-alongs with them, and we're probably going to do that later this year. Time sure gets away from us, though. So, hmm. Okay, so does anybody know how to do this live thing, but also have a guest to where it'd be sort of like a Zoom meeting? More buff, more muff. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it'd kind of be inappropriate for me to say I like that, but it's kind of creative. That's good. Appreciate your comments, Buff. Through StreamYard. Wow. Okay. Don't know about that, but okay. Legalization is dangerous when our air, food, and water are contaminated. I live in Colorado, moved to Texas. Sepsis is the new pandemic. Ooh. Well, that sounds pretty scary, RMR. Yeah. Alive. Well, welcome, TJ. All right, so I feel like I probably missed a couple of questions. Is there questions, anybody? If I didn't answer your question, please ask it again. There's this scrolling text window that trying to answer questions about one thing, and I out of the corner of my eye I see it move, and I see it move, and I know I'm probably missing stuff. Okay, yeah, I'll StreamYard. I'll Google that. Yeah, that sounds intriguing. I guess I should write that down. The work you do is so important. Thank you, TJ. Hi, Lisa. We had we shot quite a few stories in Florida. It was in March. We still haven't finished editing all of them yet, but we shot the stories in March, and we're almost through with them. We were shooting in Fort Lauderdale and in Tampa, or Newport Richie, technically, and uh, met a lot of really wonderful people there, and had a great time. So sorry, I have divided attention here. Uh, I am I'm trying to do too much at once. But give me a minute here. How did I get into telling the stories? The fentanyl stories came along. We talked about that. Actually, we talked about it before you joined us, I guess. Have you done here in Washington State? Not yet. We're game. That's something I should probably explain to everyone is how our storytelling summits work. And so I I swear the mouse is dying. How about that? Do 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 do. So I've been a filmmaker and industrial video producer for a long time. I started in industrial video production in 1988. Yeah, I know it's a long time. I know some of you weren't born yet. I don't care. I don't. I don't. I don't need to hear that. So I've always had a real passion for doing this kind of work. I feel like I've never really had a job because I love the adventure of creating stories. For the first 25 years or so, most of the stories were industrial training and safety and stuff like that. But in the course of doing that, I got to travel all over the world. I've been to every continent on Earth except Antarctica. I'm okay missing that one. So I always had a special interest in doing stories that what we call on our channel stories that matter, stories that are about life, stories that help bring the world closer and make the world more informed and can maybe save some lives. So anyway, it's really where my heart is. I'm in a real sweet spot with the work we're doing now because it feels so important. So uh Melina, you're a kick. So anyway, when we come to a location to shoot stories, the way it typically works is one person who is good and determined contacts us wanting us to come shoot their story. They want to share their story on our channel. And so from that, we explain to them how the storytelling summits work, and they help coordinate a location for us to shoot at, and they help find other people who want to share their story. And then we announce the event in our YouTube community here, and we announce it on Facebook, and we announce it on LinkedIn, and we have announced them on TikTok before and on Instagram. Uh, anyway, so once that gets everything rolling, people start registering for it, and usually the schedule gets pretty full pretty fast. Okay, I love to get into spreading awareness myself. It started pain meds from my doctor. Rose, very sorry for your loss. Uh, Spain. I see it all there. You're going to not. You're turning in, Alicia. Yeah, whatever. So you're gonna. It's so cool. Someone from Spain. That's wonderful. Hospital emergency room. I'm sorry. Wait. Let's go back to Rose. So I started pain meds with my doctor. Then lost your fiance. I'm sorry, Rose. Uh, there's a lot you can do to spread awareness. There's an organization that we work with a lot called Fentanyl Fathers, and it is not just about fathers. I'm on the board, and a lot of the board members are mothers. The organization is sort of modeled after the way Mothers Against Drunk Driving works. Mothers Against Drunk Driving is one of our big clients for work we do for pay, and so Fentanyl Fathers would be glad to have you. And there's other organizations out there too that would be elated to have help. They're all looking for help. Michelle Wells, I lost my brother 1 year ago in April, and I was told my family. Indianapolis, Indianapolis. We're open to going anywhere. To get us to an area, we really need someone local who can help coordinate a location for us to shoot in, and be our kind of local anchor, the person that we would call uh, the event organizer. We have a credit for it on the end of our stories. There is a special thanks to the event coordinator. That's what it is. Special thanks to, like in Tampa, Florida, the event coordinator was Julie Kettles, and she did a awesome job making everything come together. In Fort Lauderdale, the uh, Southern Florida Opioid Alliance. I'm probably not getting that right, but they helped us make it happen, and that was wonderful. How can you donate? Well, we don't really we don't really have a formal setup to donate. There's always making a contribution by sending us a super thanks through YouTube. But we will probably have some sort of way for people who want to help support the channel. We'll probably have something set up because we get a lot of inquiries about that. It's kind of a it's kind of a weird spot. I don't like asking for money, and it's just weird. So so someday we'll have a way. You can also become a member of the channel, and that I think is $3 a month. And members get a few extra little perks, but it also helps us because these productions are not cheap. In fact, we have probably 8 stories that we've created that after we created them, the storyteller decided not for the story to be public, and that's a lot of work. So that's kind of tough. We had one of those yesterday. It's a tough spot. It's editing the stories is anywhere between 4 and 8 hours of work after the interviews are shot. There's a lot of editing involved, and so anyway, hello Jonesy, bottom of my heart, thank you. I show some of your videos in groups at a detox rehab I work at. The clients really enjoy them and appreciate. So, uh, uh, Jonesy, there's addiction recovery stories on our channel too, right? Send snap samp chat. Melina, I don't know what a samp chat is. I don't know. Get on board. That's right, Faith. Faith is a member of our channel. Send Snapchats. Uh, Snapchats. I don't, Snapchats. I don't know what that is. I'm sure I should. You guys can all lean back and make fun of me, but I don't. How do you send Snapchats? I don't know. Anyway, you guys are really a kid. Okay, let me da, da, da. So Jonesy, I'm starting to understand now, Melina. You can Melina, you can always email us. You can. So, but Jonesy, we have addiction recovery stories too. I hope I hope we have a series of. I want to say there's around 10. I'm not sure. Mary, yeah. What is this? These nuts. Yeah. Well. Uh. Dun, 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 dun. I'm curious. Well, what can we tell you? These nuts. We're live, and uh, we're a channel that makes documentaries. It just popped up, and well, here you are. Holy cow! We've made a whole big series of documentaries about fentanyl poisoning. Maybe you've watched some other content related to fentanyl poisoning, and that's why we popped up in your feed. I don't know. Well, there you go. See, cool. All right. All right. So, what questions did I miss? Jonesy, there we are. Charlotte's story. Charlotte. Maybe is Charlotte Oh yeah, Charlotte. Okay, I remember the recovery stories are the recovery stories have a happy ending, and so that's kind of cool. There's it's a different kind of vibe when we're shooting a recovery story. It's very nice. Hello, nuts. Ah, wow, you guys are a kick. I can tell you, I have seen Melina. I have seen your comments on so many of our stories, and you're such a wonderful, consistent, always there, always commenting, always supporting it. It really means a lot to us. I share the recovery stories of people at work. Yeah, yeah. Okay, we have two recovery stories that we shot in Florida that we just haven't edited yet. This week we're going to be shooting in Washington D.C., and so probably not going to get to them this week either. But one of them is close. One of them is about half the work is done for as far as the editing goes. Love doing the recovery stories and love being able to point to the recovery stories. You know, there's a lot of comments in the fentanyl poisoning series where people have some sort of Me Too thing where they say where they are early in the recovery process or they aren't in recovery at all but want to be, and we can point to the recovery series and recommend they watch some of those and feel like that helps them. All right, so I have a question for you guys. Recovering over half my life. Well, I hope it's the most recent half. Nuts. There's a big reward to it. You know, there is if you're in recovery, there's quite a few recovery stories on our channel, and some are a kick. I feel like uh, now I'm just going by your screen name here, but I feel like Matt Price story. I think it's called As High as I Want. Matt Price's story. It seems like that would suit you. Like you would like that one. Thank you, Faith. Canada, eh? Groovy. Okay, so uh, yeah, testimonies are a big deal. Okay, so I have questions for you guys. What's missing? Is there what's missing from the fentanyl stories that we've been working on? You know, once in a while we do something that isn't just a it's not just it's not a story of a poisoning. It's a story about, like, we have one story about buying drugs at a pharmacy in Mexico that involves hidden cameras and all that. And we have a couple of stories that involve interviews with law enforcement and things like that. So what's missing? Is there and we're working on some follow up stories for a few of the stories we've already told. So what's missing? Uh, I'm 49 and I'm good. You guys. Holy cow, we've been here 45 minutes. I don't know how long to go here, but I'm I'm having a good time with this. It's always kind of weird doing this live thing, but uh, we are. Uh, we also have one of the interviews that we're going to be doing in DC is with a former drug czar. Suggestions about what we should ask him. Kids are dying Blackfoot. Ask him about weed. We will. That's certainly on our list. Weed is a very divisive topic on our channel. Medical marijuana card. Good. That's good. Good to have input from a physician for sure. Okay. Blackfoot Reservation. And where are you? Is that Oklahoma? A participant. Uh, Ray Lynn, to reach out to a participant, meaning reach out to uh, Megan. Holy cow! Why was that so hard? Oh, Alberta, Canada. Okay. Is it possible to reach out to a participant? Reel in. You're talking about Megan Ledoux. Oh, Jonesy, you're killing me. A drug czar. Uh, drug czar is like the top drug or illegal drug expert in the United States from a government perspective. The drug czar we're interviewing reported to President Nixon and President Ford. And he was there early on in the beginning stages of the war on drugs, and has some real substantial insights. And he's still very active in recovery and in prevention. And he has perspectives that are insightful and not always consistent with the mainstream government views of how drugs are being handled. Do whatever you can. Thanks, Faith. We're doing all we can. We're trying. These nuts, could be that screen name makes people expect a certain kind of personality. Maybe. I don't know. Wow. That was weird. All right. So, these nuts, are you a subscriber to the Texas Pictures Documentaries channel? Yeah, clearly. It's okay to be nuts. It's okay to be nuts. As long as you have a good grasp on it and find value in it. That's good. Okay. So yeah, if you're new here, you should certainly. I'm sure everyone here is subscribers, right? Right. All right. So good job. No, 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 Jonesy. Ask your brains out. Welcome to ask anything. Uh, they're good questions. Good questions. Yeah, I love the stories too. It's a chance to draw this little bit of value out of this terrible loss that these families are going through, and it really means a lot to me to get to do that. Reeling, your documentaries have been a blessing and definitely life changing. Writing your resources down as we speak. Thank you and God bless you. Mary, so glad you're a subscriber. Great to hear from you. Glad you're here. Uh, yeah, you guys can also look at our website. There's I don't know. There's a section on our website devoted to documentaries. We've done a lot of stuff about impaired driving for Mothers Against Drunk Driving and for law enforcement agencies. There's some pretty powerful stories on there as well. They're also on our channel. Uh, so what else? What else should we be doing, folks? Are we missing something? I don't know. We're always we're 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 looking into doing some kind of story about fentanyl and weed. As we have one story in our series that's about that, and it generated a lot of debate and friction, which is productive. It generates a lot of dialogue, and so that's a great thing. We hear we hear contradictory information about fentanyl and weed. We hear it from all kinds of sources, and we're not getting consistent answers. So we're going to look into that more. The synthetic weed, uh, shift to shape. I feel like I've seen your name in comments before. Uh, the synthetic weed. We have a long format documentary that we made about that. That is about 6 years old. It's called The Last High. It's pretty easy to find on our channel. I believe it's. I feel like it's an hour long and it's pretty in depth. It's got interviews with physicians and psychiatrists, users, former users, a user who's arrested and in custody, a user who's a prostitute, uh, parents of users who lost their loved one to something connected to synthetic cannabinoids. So, Raging Nixon, ice, wallow, come. These nuts, are you in recovery? Wanting to be in recovery? Where are you at with that? I call myself an addict. I won't lose sight of what's important anymore. Bacterial fungus, viral contamination. Very true, of course. All right. Carla, are you still here? Totally missed your message. Carla, are you still with us? I hope so. Josephine, hello from Houston. Weed and fentanyl documentary would help because people who smoke don't believe it's added to weed. That is correct. Holy cow, they do not. And they get pretty adamant about defending weed and saying uh, that it's all propaganda. We don't know, but we don't claim to know. We've gotten information that says both. A lot of commenters have said that the heat destroys fentanyl and it loses its efficacy, and uh, and so other people point out that the flame doesn't hit everything right away, and people point out that if fentanyl is in a joint and you're putting it in your mouth and you're sucking on it, it doesn't even matter if it's lit, and you could wind up ingesting fentanyl. So I don't know. It's kick. So we're gonna figure out more about that. So Carla, are you here still? We have one of our storytellers in the group, or she was here for a while, and I don't see if she's here or not. I don't. If there's a way to see a list of everyone, there's edibles with synthetic weed. Well, okay, that's a new one on me. Yeah. So I want to ask if anybody here has seen Rain's story. So I know a bit about synthetic weed because of the because of the documentary we made. The big appeal to synthetic weed was that it doesn't show up in drug tests, not the standard drug test. There's a test for it, but it costs more. So employers don't usually opt for the more expensive drug test. And so that's what led to the popularity of synthetic cannabinoids. And for a while, they weren't illegal. Now in Texas, regardless of how they're made, they're illegal. And other states, I don't know. But our documentary explores all that. But it's 6 or 7 years old now. It has interviews with the DEA agent and has some footage of how synthetic cannabinoids are made. Not very glamorous. Damn wood to the synthetic cannabinoid stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. That seems just, it seems like the worst of both worlds. To just smoke a chemical, that's crazy. All right, folks. So it's been an hour now. So it might be time to wrap this up. I really appreciate you guys joining us and being a part of all this. Has it? Yeah, it has. I have a little timer here. It's been an hour and 15 seconds. The synthetic cannabinoids documentary is called The Last High. I might be able to post a link to it right here, maybe. I don't know. I'm assuming you guys can still see me, but go here and do this, and there it is. And there's a link, and now if I come back to here, okay, look, it worked. I think it worked. More lives in the future. Yeah, we're going to try to do a live thing. Okay, there is a link to uh, The Last High, the documentary about synthetic cannabinoids that we made. I want to say 7 years ago, maybe 2016, maybe a little longer. It was a long project to work on. There was a hurricane in the middle of it that disrupted our production for quite a while. We made it with the Baytown Police Department and the city of Baytown, and it was a cool production. We also had a team of volunteer high school students involved in every step of the production. Students who had some sort of career interest in journalism or filmmaking or law enforcement or counseling or writing. It's very cool. Thank you, Cosmic. D's nuts. You're way behind the times. Yeah. That kind of nonsense will work on some people, but I'm 62 years old, so you and your 49-year-old butt cannot be as far behind the times as I am. That's my thinking. I'm serious too. I like to listen. Good, good. Holy cow, listening's important because when you're talking, you're not learning, and so that's the big thing that's the big secret to our interviews. I listen. I just listen. So yes, our goal is to try to do a live like this once a week. We'll see how it goes because it's kind of weird for me. I don't do that in front of the camera thing much, and I'm the behind the camera guy, So it's kind of weird, but I really enjoyed visiting with you folks and having a chance to have a back and forth. That's that's pretty awesome. Well, thank you, Cosmic. I'm glad you think so. I think it's kind of awesome too. It's awesome to get to interact with you folks because usually it's just responding to comments, and our channel gets about 4,000 comments a week, and I go through all of them. But at 4,000 comments a week, it's kind of hard to reply with any kind of depth. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. So, all right, we're at an hour and 4 minutes. And so I was talking about giving advice and listening to people. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for the live in your channel. Thank you, Mary. I really appreciate you guys for joining us here. And you won't be back. I'm sorry, did I piss you off? Not. What happened? You won't be back. What happened? What I said. What I say? I gave you a hard time. Did I go too far? What happened? Sharon, good to see you. I was. Okay, well, I'm sorry. Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay, Sheer. Uh, yeah. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm pretty sure. I'm very sure. He is I don't think you're trying to dominate the conversation at all. I think you're adding value with everything you're saying. You just said something about listening. It made me think about uh, how much time I spend listening and how uh, that's just the thing. When you're talking, you're not learning. That's I've heard that for decades. I didn't mean it anything towards you. So Sharon Lucero. This is one of our storytellers, folks. Right here, right now. Just uh, I think two storytellers are here, Sharon and Carla. If Carla's still here, I don't know. We've been having a little messaging most of the guys. Uh, there are. We're gonna. I'm gonna talk a little bit about comments again, and there's quite a few stories on our channel now where we filter the comments. Where when someone makes a comment before it becomes public, we review it. And when I say we, that pretty much means me. And we do that at the request of the storyteller. And there's been quite a few storytellers that have asked us to do that, and we're glad to do it. It is, I mean, we're protective of the storytellers first. That is top priority. That something gets by us once in a while, uh, but but holy cow, we look out for them. There's just a few morons on YouTube, and they say things that there's just no point in saying that has no value. But for the most part, all the comments are wonderful. Some of the comments are just a little ignorant, which is nothing wrong with being ignorant. Ignorant just means you don't know. And then there's a few comments now and then that are morons, just flat out morons that are trying to go for shock or something. I don't know. Anyway, so is my sister Tutus. I should change my name to Nutsack. I'm sorry, just a dude. Wait, did I miss a question? Holy cow, there's this whole scroll of text messages running by, and while I'm answering one question, three more go shooting by. So if I missed a question, ask it again. G share, who's lying? June 7th. Yeah, that's right around the corner, Sharon. Just a dude. Sorry. So what was your question? What question did I miss, folks? Right. Thank you, Josephine. So Anybody? What did I miss a question or something? Yeah, I feel like I missed a lot here. Should not assume if someone dies from fentanyl they were a drug addict. Why do I think police aren't too interested in fentanyl poisonings? Uh, well, gosh, that's a tough question. I think I kind of think it might be being too specific. And on the one hand, it's too broad. Some police are interested. Some police departments are very motivated and interested in dealing with uh, fentanyl poisonings and other issues related to drugs. With some law enforcement, it's not that they're not interested in fentanyl poisoning, but that they're just not interested in general. We've worked with lots of law enforcement agencies, especially over the last 12 years, and rarely do we see disinterested officers. The ones we see, oh my gosh, oh, I did this. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Oh, what a moron. Uh, wow. Inadvertently was dictating to my phone while I was talking. So, anyway, the ones we see are very motivated for the most part. Their heart is really in the work. But remember, we're a video crew. We're we're like reporters. And so the officers that we get assigned to are going to be among the best and brightest because the department wants to put the best image forward. Law enforcement agencies have to draw their employees from the same pool of potential workers as everybody else. And once in a while, you're going to make a mistake. You're going to get someone that you probably shouldn't have gone with. And that happens to everybody. That happens to all businesses. It's happened to us. Certainly happened to us. Okay, okay. I see there's a lot of comments that I missed here. Stop lying. Who's lying? Not trying to be rude. Think you're doing a great job. Thank you very much, Josephine. People are totally ignorant. Sharon, I agree. People are not. Okay, I'm more cut up than I thought. What do you think? Police aren't too interested. Okay, that's where I. You didn't miss anything. We were just commenting. All right. All right. So it's got to be about time to wrap this up, right, folks? This has been a really good time, though. Diamond Queen, you just came across the channel and what it's about. Thank you. So, Diamond Queen, you're a subscriber now, right? Right. Giving us a thumbs up now and then and all that cool stuff. Hope so. Sure. No idea. No one is interested unless it's. No one is interested unless it affects them. Yeah. Yeah. That's that's how it works. Kind of works that way with everything. That you learn more about it afterwards. I if you buy a new car and you buy a Mustang, you notice more advertisements for Mustangs after you buy than you saw before. And it's a behavioral thing. No one's interested unless it affects them. I feel like not enough police officers. Carla, so glad you're here. I mean, I'm really glad you're here. I don't know if anyone here in this chat has seen Rain's story, but this is Carla, the main storyteller in Rain's story. How old am I? I'm 62, but I'm way immature. They don't care and you know it. No, no, that's not accurate. It's really not accurate. I know there's law enforcement who don't care, but I also know for a fact that there's law enforcement who care a lot. I've met them. I've when working on a project for Mothers Against Driving in the middle of COVID, we traveled literally across the country. We shot interviews in Baltimore, Maryland. We shot interviews in Sacramento, California, interviews in Idaho, uh, Georgia, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Missouri, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming. All the ones that we dealt with were very passionate about the work they were doing. I'm 49, the whole family's alcoholic drug addicts, including me. All these statistics. Did I miss statistics? Did I? Holy cow, folks. We got to wrap this up. The sun's going down. So, okay. Uh, retardation. Holy cow. I love that word. It is such a good word. And uh, it's such a off limits word now, too, which I think is pretty retarded. Anyway, so we do need to wrap it up, folks. I'm really grateful for you guys to have joined us for this. We will start making these weekly or close to weekly. Next week we're going to be in Washington D.C., so we might try to do something live from D.C. And a very good to see you, Sharon. It's cool to see you here. Sorry about the approaching anniversary. We're still here for you guys. You know, you can reach out to us anytime. Uh, when will we be in DC? We'll be in DC Tuesday evening. And then Wednesday and Thursday we're not shooting stories. We're working on a special project, and then Friday and Saturday we're shooting stories. And coming back to Houston on Sunday. We're going to be shooting stories at a Chamber of Commerce in Maryland. I think it's in Annapolis. The address is on the sign-up sheet. You're going to be in D.C., Carla? Seriously? Well, we'll be there Wednesday to Saturday as well. All right, so just you and Moses. Well, we could all get together if you're up for it. If you got any time. Hi, in Sacramento, California in June. Yep. There's an announcement in the community section on our channel here. Uh, Carla, really? All right, Carla. We'll. Wow, that's awesome, Carla. Okay, so we'll sort something out. You gonna have Moses with you? That's cool. Moses is cool. I like Moses. He's a good guy. Oh, come on, Jillian. Thank you. I never know what to say to that, but I appreciate it. That's very nice. Thank you. In Houston, you'll have a presentation. What? So I'm giving a presentation in Houston in, I want to say it's in August. I'm scheduled for something. It's on the calendar. It's on our calendar. Uh, when it shows up, I'll do it. But we're based in Houston, so we're in Houston most of the time. Da, 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 da. So that's cool, Carla. We're gonna we'll sort this out offline. But wow, that's interesting. So uh, I think the channel is great. Thank you, Jillian. In Houston, we have a presentation. Another. We'll probably do another storytelling summit in Houston sometime near the end of summer. The bottleneck for us is editing. We need someone who can edit like a news reporter would edit. We could use a couple of those. Do I just pick random places? No, no. The way that these places happen is it starts by someone in whatever area contacting us saying that they want to share their story. And we explain to them that that when we come to an area, we like to shoot a couple of days worth of stories where we shoot 6 or 8 stories a day to make the most of our travel time. And so that's how it starts. And that local person sort of becomes the local event coordinator, finds a location for us to shoot the interviews, and we announce the event on Facebook and on YouTube and on LinkedIn. And it's kind of an open invitation. Anyone who wants to come share their story can. There's a link where they can go register and pick a storytelling sign time to share their story. So we can go anywhere, not really random. In Sacramento, we're going to be shooting at, I believe we're shooting stories at a church that's been good enough to provide a location. That's awesome. I wasn't aware you're based in Houston. By the way, do you have power at home? Uh, we do have power at home. Ours. So, but some parts of town, I know in the Heights, there's a transmission shop that that I own a part of, and it didn't have power yesterday. I don't know if it has power today or not. I will show all 6 or 8 stories. Yeah, we don't. Every interview we make into a story and publish them on our channel. We've also made quite a few stories where the storyteller changed her mind, and uh, not sure what we're going to do about that, but we're going to. It's cost us a bit. So yeah, we publish all the stories, all of them. All right, folks. So we're up to almost 90 minutes now, and you guys really, any of you are welcome to email me at info@texas-pictures.com. Our email address is in our YouTube profile. Welcome to friend me on Facebook. If you want to be part of our fentanyl poisoning private group on Facebook, you can email me and I can send you an invite. Uh, Thank you, Jillian. Thanks for watching and thanks for being a part of all this. So we're going to wrap it up. I'm really grateful for all of you folks. And so we'll see you next time. All right. So, dun, dun, dun. All right. So thank you very much. Bye for now.